am taking a leap of faith today, and I'm starting this little baking series. Basically, I went to baking school, so you don't have to.
Yay!
If you don't have $10,000, I got you. So, also, it's going to pastry school for me was a really big step in my life. So, I'm really excited to share what I learned because I really went in there with wanting to absorb everything I learned, and I just think it made me a little bit more confident, and now I'm ready to just kind of freaking be who I want to be, I guess. I don't know. And this, I was told to do this. Like, anyway, I don't have to explain this. But basically I just decided I don't care what people think of me. I will do what I want to do. I love baking. I love sharing. So let's go. For this first one, we're going to start really simple. And we're going to do peanut butter cookies. Why? Because the foundation of baking is like cookies. And seriously, I'm going to follow kind of like my program's outline in terms of recipes. I want to go through their entire program so that you don't have to, literally. And I hope that I can just share some tips and tricks, and maybe you can learn a thing or two. And I absolutely believe that anyone can bake. And I think once you understand how to make things with your hands, there's a lot more magic that comes from the same place. So yeah, let's do. I want to keep this like kind of unfiltered. Sorry, this is a long introduction because it's my very first video. But the recipe is also very quick, so just go ahead and skip if you just want the recipe. But yeah, I really forgot what I was saying. Anyway, that's just me. You're gonna get to know me. I'm really forgetful sometimes. Okay, so first of all, this is your new best friend because this, we get rid of this, okay? No more cups, it's going brown. Okay. Very easy, you'll see it. You think that you're gonna dirty a lot of dishes with this, but you really don't have to. You can maximize and, you know, really find a way to have your time management like under control. Also, sorry, I'm from Quebec City, so if my sentences don't always make sense, that's why. I mean, I've been speaking fluently for 10 years, but I still like kind of mess up my words all the time, actually. So yeah, let's just start. So you want to have all your ingredients at room temperature. So you want to have your, especially your butter and your eggs, and your peanut butter, because cold peanut butter will not be your friend. So what we want to start with is going to be, let's measure our dry ingredients so that they're out of the way. But I just want to mention one thing very important that you should already have in place when you start your recipe is your mise en place. So mise en place is a French word for like having everything ready, like not combined. So you want to have your ingredients kind of in place for each step, and so you're already prepared and everything's gonna be ready so that if your hands are dirty, then you can kind of just, you know, move and stuff. Yeah. So first of all, you want to wash your hands always. Seriously, sometimes just take the time, like, it's one and done. Okay? It's not that hard. Oh, one thing about baking that I did not realize going to baking school was that I was literally gonna become a tradeswoman. Like, I have my own freaking Milwaukee bag because, well, our school bag were like pretty shitty. Sorry. But they were like really expensive too. They were like $80 for like this black bag, and it was just kind of trash. My zipper broke like week 1. So it was also overfilled because the tools that they provided us, like there was way too many for the bag that they gave us. So I was like, gonna get myself a Milwaukee. And I've loved it because there's a strap so I can just carry it around my waist. It's great. Okay, getting carried away, let's start. So we're gonna start with our dry ingredients, which are gonna be, we're gonna start with our bread flour. Very like, I just like to be chill, especially at home. I'm always in sweatpants. My boyfriend says I look like a toddler, but listen, that's what I like. Okay, so we want 550. I put my sieve. Oh my god, live on that. Yeah. You could already have your dry prep, but because this is the first episode and I don't know what direction this is going, we're just gonna go like this. So that's 550. I'm gonna tear it right now because I don't need it to be sifted right away. I'm gonna add my baking for time efficiency. We're gonna add our other ingredients too. Baking powder, I need, oh my god, I already fucked up. This is for 6 dozen. We're not making 6 dozen, although I could, but we're not doing that. Well, it's perfect. You can learn from my mistakes. Baking School 101. Proof that, like, you know, I just went 10 months and I already fucked up my recipe. You see a number and you double check, you triple check, and then it's like, yeah, okay, it's 23 or whatever number, and then you go and put it, and then you look back and it's like 12, and you're like, I put half, like double, you know. I swear, it's not just me, but I put too much. I looked at the wrong number, so we're just gonna do that again. Very easy fix. Before anything is mixed, just gonna take another bowl and essentially start again. I only need 158 grams. Okay, that's 150 grams. Anyways, we caught the mistake. That's the good thing, because if you don't catch it when everything is mixed, then you waste all of what you just spent, you know? Like, very wasteful if you make a mistake. But that's baking. It's a literal chemistry. Like, I have baking powder, which is a, you know, that's baking powder. And then our baking soda. Anyway, I'm at my parents' house, so this is not like my environment. And I decided to hard launch like this. Blame me. Okay. Baking soda, just a pinch. Perfect, that's what I have in my hand. Just a pinch. I had slightly more, which I just wasted. Call me a hypocrite. I am sometimes, so. Anyway, add a little bit of salt. And then, yeah, that's all our dry. Now we're gonna go into wet. Yeah. You know what I mean. We want to, oh, by the way, I'm gonna try to use as less like the mixer bowl as possible, because I know that when you want to learn how to bake, you usually don't have all the tools, and I think that's important to know how to do it at home, but it's professionally also is fun. But this is cookies, so it's very simple. We'll just hand whip it basically. Yeah. So we're gonna put our butter. We need 92. So this is actually a really easy measurement because they're all the same number. You won't forget. If you're in doubt, then you know. Yeah. Same for sugar. So same ratio of sugar. We're gonna use 2 types of sugar. White sugar, 92. I doubted myself for a moment about the number, and then I remembered, no, 92. See, it works. You pick a really easy recipe so that under stress, you're fine. It's one number. Not that you should be stressed baking. I think your best bakes will come out from the heart, when you bake from the heart. Okay, 92. Now we're gonna take our sugar and our butter, and we're just gonna kind of. So if you had a mixer, you would just put your paddle and mix, but don't aerate the mixture. Aerating means that you incorporate air, so you whip the butter almost to incorporate your air, but this, you don't want that. You just want it to get combined. This is also not the right tool. I don't never use it during baking school, and that's the one the school provided. It's good for like very soft thing, but this is a harder mix, so you want a harder spatula. It's my tools because you never know. It's been a while, but yeah. That works much better. And this is I bought that one at Dollarama. It's not my favorite shop. No, it is actually a pretty great store, I'm not gonna lie. Damn it. But I feel guilty going to Dollarama sometimes. But I'm guilty of going for sure. Okay, we just want to kind of combine, okay? Because we're still gonna mix it. I also don't know how it's gonna look on camera, so bear with me. Like this, it's kind of just combined and like clumpy a little bit. It could be a little more soft, but we're gonna add our peanut butter, so it doesn't really matter. You can keep your bowl on the scale. We're gonna add our peanut butter, which is, I believe, a 92. I would not do this in my kitchen, but I'm at my house, so. Okay. Clean as you go. If there's one lesson, even if you just watch like one, just clean as you go. The anxiety will go away. Just clean as you go. Much easier. So we're gonna put our peanut butter and mix. Same thing if it's in the mixer. Just keep an eye on it. I don't know if you can see. But now it's really starting to get the smell. There's I know a lot of people don't like peanut butter. I love it. Although I don't like peanut butter cookies, they're not like my favorite, but they're really easy to make, and you know what? They hit the spot when you want it to hit the spot. So here you go. Now we're gonna add our eggs. So we need 60 grams of eggs. This is confusing because, I mean, they come in eggs, not grams, right? But each one on average is about 60. 30 for the yolk and, 20 for the yolk and 30 for the white. So you can just, it's, I swear it's double check my eggs sometimes because it's so then for eggs you really want it to become homogeneous because you want everything to be incorporated. Like the yolk sometimes, or not the yolk, the white actually, I was confusing, but I'm confused. Hey Echo, how much is?
Egg in Canada usually weighs about 50 to 60 grams. Sizes can vary slightly, so it's best to check your specific partner for the exact weight.
Don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. It's okay. So that means I only put one, but now I put two. Because it's an homogeneous mix, it's easier to just put back. But I needed like 50 grams. I guess I'm making an omelet tonight. We're not wasting that. So, okay. This shouldn't be an issue. It's fine. They're literally cookies. You'll see it'll turn out because they're cookies and put love into it, and I think baking should be fun. And learning is making mistakes, so. This is your first impression of me. Well, hello. Did I put salt? See, that happens all the time, and I don't know why it's happening on the first episode, but I can't remember if I put salt or not. And I'm not gonna cut this video, so. Because I'm trying to make this enjoyable. And so, I'm just gonna put a bit of salt. Oh, but you know what? My butter was salted. Usually you don't really use, in baking, in pastry school anyway, we only use unsalted butter. Except a few times. But I mean, if your recipe calls for salt and you have buttered salt, you can just kind of eyeball it, gauge it, right? It's not that serious. Really, people think baking is really hard. It's not. Also, if you wondered why my eggs are in water, it's because they were not at room temperature when I started this. So you just pop them in hot water and they come to room temperature very quickly, so you don't have to wait 2 hours before you start your recipe, you know. Another little pro tip too. Pro tip, if Mark's watching, hello. Or Emma. Anyway, so yeah, cold butter, you can also put that in the microwave, but what's very important is you don't make it melt. You just want to put increments of like 10 seconds, you check. 5 seconds, you check. and you should be able to just kind of dig your finger in with no problem, like this. You know, very easy, no resistance. And really your peanut butter kind of the same, little microwave increments. And if you do melt your butter, do not reuse that butter. That butter has like, they've lost their structural like thingy. If you're interested in more chemical worldview, let me know and I'll make sure to come prepared. But I think I know the thing in my head, but to verbalize it is another thing. So yeah, but it just changes the structural foundation of the butter molecule. So you'll need to get butter that is still solid because it's better. It's just better. It's a bit. Otherwise, you change the structure of the cookie. So that's where like the chemical part comes in, which is kind of cool. Like when you start understanding ingredients and stuff, if you actually like try to understand them as if they were kind of alive, you know, you kind of observe their behaviors, and then you can kind of hijack in your recipes, which is kind of cool. Anyway, if you stuck this long, thank you. Now we're gonna put our dry mix. And here, very important, we do not overmix. I'm just gonna add a little bit, mix in, and then add a little more because you don't want to just dump all your flour all at once. It's a lot harder to mix. The flour is gonna go everywhere. There's a higher chance of over mixing, but you don't need, there can still be clutter of flour by the time you put your second one, but don't let it come to a point where it's like too whipped almost. On Spotify. Yeah. Sometimes I have no way, like I have no way of knowing if my camera's even still recording, so. It will take a little longer for sure if you're using your mechanical arm instead of your robot, but that's okay. That's why I think baking's good for you. You release you can release emotion into your dough. And I think any baker will agree that food of feeling or something, because man, bread is another type of beast. You have to know her to know her. And we'll get into that later. At this rate in a few months, but that's because you came to baking school, right? Not to make cookies. Well, I guess you make cookies in baking school. Anyway, this is our dough. At that point, you want it combined and it's like a dough, okay? This one is very sticky if you were to do a log. Very sticky cookie, but I'm gonna put it in the fridge. Do not lick your fingers because there's raw eggs. Especially not in a professional kitchen. That's no. But yeah, we'll put this in the fridge, let it set for a while. Then we're gonna turn on our oven at 190 degree, which is, I believe, 375. We are back.
Alright everybody, I'm so sorry. I am not sure what happened to my footage, but it's lost. So I'm just gonna have to do a voiceover to explain how you put your cookies on the baking sheet. So to scoop them out, I use an ice cream scoop. You can use just your hand or even weigh them out. And then you're gonna line them up and slightly flatten them. You can line them up in two ways. You can do just a row of horizontal cookies, or you can go in a diagonal pattern, kind of alternating, so there's more air that circulates in between. Choice is up to you. And it's going to be about 10 to 12 minutes in the oven until the edges are brown. It smells, and this is very irrelevant. The cookies are done. Like, take them out. Take them out.
To be a cook. Anyway, oh my god, the cookies. That's what happens when you're distracted. Oh, they're flat. So, golden. Oh my god, cookies. Enjoy them. Thanks for staying all the way through this. Because, yeah, there was a lot of nonsense, but I think part of the reason I want to do this YouTube channel is to be like a way for me to channel my energy that I'm not usually putting out there because I'm scared of what people think. So this is me, and a part of the baking process that I learned in school is that you have to slow down the process, and we're all just addicted to dopamine hits from like whatever. So yeah, this video is just like to chill, spend some time, play in the background or whatever. You use it however you want. So, and now you have cookies too. Have a glass of milk with those. Really good. Till next time.